Hey guys, welcome back to Kiwi Classics and Customs. Today we're working on a lovely old 67 Chevelle Malibu. It's come in, we've got to do some interior work on it. Yeah, no headlining, we've got all that fun stuff to do. And we've got some wiring. The customer said, can you tidy it up a bit for me? Yeah, we need a bit of tidying up. It runs, it's driving, and good on him for getting it that far. A friend was helping him, and honestly I think they've gone enough's enough, we're in over our heads a bit, and give it a try, give projects a try. And sometimes it's the better man that puts his hand up and says I'm done, this is beyond me, and get a professional to help you with it. So I think they've done the right thing. We're going to go through, we're going to run all this to its correct destinations. Let's have a quick look in the engine bay. So yeah, if you take a look in here, we've got a little bit of tidying up to do. He's done the right thing in my opinion in getting a new harness for it. A lot of the OEM harnesses are just a little bit too far gone and a little bit too used. They've been played around with too much. But we're going to have a look at another one in a second, an OE one, and I'll show you what I'm talking about. But what he wants done is all this tidying up, which just doesn't look so good. He's got wiring over here. Some of this is hanging close to the exhaust. It just needs a little bit of time and a little bit of thought to get it run where it needs to go. So we're going to do that as the video goes on. We're going to talk about say OE harnesses, which is better, and some of the pitfalls, some of the things to look out for. So let's have a look at an OEM Mustang one. We've got a wiring harness, 90% of a complete wiring harness out of a 65 Mustang. Now it's going to be similar to other wiring harnesses at Chevy or Mopar of that era, just to give you an idea. So this has come out of a car we got here. The options are to put it back in, or to go with an aftermarket wiring harness, or you can go OE style. So yeah, that's your three options. Now this one, there's some things to look at. You need to have a good honest look at it and see whether you think the thing's going to live again, or whether it's been messed with too much. Whenever you see these blue type connectors, that's not factory. That's a crimp-on one there. That's an add-on where they've been bridging into the, robbing power from there. One of the problems with them, these old harnesses, like that's got 5 fuses. 2 of them are for the lights, and the other 3 do everything. And someone's bridged in here and added a power wire here to run off and do something else in here, which I haven't figured out yet. They did at least put it on the right side of the fuse. There is a right side and a wrong side. That side is, this one here is live all the time. This one is the fuse side. So they did get that right. Looking around at it a little bit, this is a red flag. All this tape around here, the factory did not do their harnesses like that. And looking at closer at this, you unravel this old tape. I mean, look at that. That's melted. This has been seriously hot, and that's why they've taped it up again. And this is heading into the harness in here, into this tightly wound, and that's been hot enough to melt. So the chances are that's either touching or very close to, burning through and connecting across to another wire and causing you all sorts of issues. You've got some heat. Yeah, see, this is, when you look at that, that's actually melted on to the other wires. You've got to peel it off to get it off. And my guess that wire would be connected to that wire. But there's damage inside here. You can guarantee there's damage inside here. You're going to have to open it up and have a look and see. So that's a problem. What else is going on with this harness? Here's a problem. This is the main supply to the ignition. That's the one wire that makes your car run. Now it's got a crimp-on terminal here that looks shady. It's taped up here. Now this is, you can just pull it in and out like that, and it's loose. Okay, So it just needs that to work a little bit loose while you're heading down the highway, and your car's going to stop cold. So that needs attention. Looking at it, here's a headlight plug. That's from the back of the headlights. You zoom in close here, you can see it's been hot. This has been hot. One of the problems is that this is fairly light gauge wiring. It's designed for the low output headlights that they had in the 60s. Somebody puts bigger headlights in it, quartz halogen lights. Suddenly you got a lot more draw, which creates a lot more heat. What else have we got going on? Okay, here's another little bit of wiring that's been taped up. You always need to open that up. It may be nothing under there, but there could be. That looks like that's an attempt to tidy it up. That's great. Here's something a little, okay, we've got a broken wire here that's going nowhere with a crimped terminal here. That's the headlight plug on the other side, and lo and behold, someone's added connect. Oh, that was in there. Okay, so that headlight's not going to work, and these connectors shouldn't be here. They don't need to be here. So you've got the headlight plug, a two-piece connector here that won't come apart, and then another connector here. It's just sources for problems. I mean, in my opinion, looking at this, you've got someone's added ends on here, something's fallen off of that. To me, this harness is too much work. You've got, there's joins here, joins here, joins here, joins here. It's been messed with just too much. There's wires not terminated here. We've got to figure out where they go. It's not in good shape. The other little thing to think of, the car this was meant to be going into has been converted to a single wire alternator. So we don't need this. This is the voltage regulator for the old school style alternator. So all this has got to be stripped out of the harness, unless you just cut the wires and leave them there, but that's not really the ideal way to do it. Wires are not getting used, you need to cut them out and get rid of them. So that all needs to be kind of reviewed, but I mean, you spend 20 grand, 50 grand on your hot rod, you don't want to put that back in. So I think that's gone. Now we've just got to decide whether to go OE, original equipment, which you can buy, or go with the aftermarket harness. We're going to take you over here now and show you another Mustang we got here that's, the engine bay's been cleaned out. Like, all this stuff's gone, but come over and we'll take a look and show you what I mean. So this is the Barbera Fastback that we've been working on. Most of the engine bay wiring's done here, all the headlight wiring. And really you can't see virtually any of it. It's all hidden. We've brought, there's none of the wiring coming around here like it normally does. Like on that Chevelle, all that headlight wiring was hanging down here. That's all gone. It's there, you just can't see it. The horns that are usually here are gone. We've just cleaned it up, and you've got a little bit of wiring coming down here off the ignition box. That's tucked away under here and heading over to the battery on the other side, and it's all wrapped in a nice braid. It's clean and tidy, and it's something you can be proud of, and most guys can do that. You just have to take your time, think about where you're going to run things, try it, see if you like the look of it. If you don't, do it again. So we've got one little bit of wiring heading up here from the AC. There's really minimal wiring. We mounted the coil down low over there. It's a little busier down here. We've got a relay and stuff, but it's down out of the line of sight, and makes the whole engine bay look nice and tidy. So that's that one. Now we're going to show you another one we've got here, and we'll show you what that new harness looks like, the aftermarket harness. So let's go and have a look at that one. Right, so here we are in another car. Now this is an American auto wire harness going in here. That's the first big difference you see, is that's the main fuse box. That controls everything. And if you cast your mind back to the previous video, earlier in the video, the fuse box had 5 fuses in it, 2 for the headlights. So you've got lots of different circuits here. You're not putting so much work through one fuse, which is, it just has to be better. Here's are the relays. Now these are for the headlights. You got left and right headlights, you got an ignition relay, and you got a horn relay. one of the wonderful little things Ford did back in the day was they decided to run a live power wire up through the steering column, up here for the horn button, and then that when you push the horn button you connected the positive power, which ran it all the way back down and out. So you had live wires in amongst all these moving parts. You turn it, your steering wheel's always turning, and they had lots of issues. That's what's happened here, you know. So that's a better idea. That's a Ford thing. Chevy guys, you don't have to worry about that. What else have we got going on there? Is this particular harness has been made for the Mustang. So you've got a light switch plug here, which will go up in here to the lights switch here. But check out the wiring. You know, with heavy gauge wiring, because this is running your headlights. So, and there's another. That's that's an option plug. You know, that runs electric fuel pumps, power windows, power seats, whatever you want it to run. But again, look at the gauge of the wiring. They're all written in here. Now, to be fair, this is pushing a $900 wiring harness, so it's a bit of coin. I get that. There's cheaper ones out there. This lettering, this little writing on here will rub off on the cheap ones. Believe me, that's a pain. I've been there and done that. It's not ideal. And we've got another one here. This one heads off down to the back for the rear wiring. This is already wired for the high-low beam switch here. So, and it comes with a nice big book of instructions that you just go through page by page and you'll get there. This is similar harness to what's in the Chevelle that we started this video with. So I've got a bit of wiring ahead of me, so that's it. I'm going to call it a day. I'm going to go home and get some rest because we've got a big day tomorrow. See you guys.